Could the Giants make a change before the season's over? Is Joe Schoen's time with the organization winding down? Is it almost up? You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Now, first things first, let's talk about the game. It wasn't good. I think for the first week this season, it was clear who the better team was. And in my opinion, I believe it was the Giants. I believe they are and they were the better team versus the Saints. But what do bad football teams do? They figure out how to lose the game. And those 3 fumbles. I mean, I'm going to have some grace when it comes to Scattaboo. He's an incredibly physical runner. That's going to happen from time to time. Jackson Dart, that fumble stunk. But I'll give him a little bit of grace too. Darius Slayton, absolutely none. I mean, what the heck, man? You just gotta hold on to the damn football. Now, when it comes down to personnel decisions, when it comes down to roster construction, this is all on Joe Schoen. He goes out this past offseason, he addresses the secondary, Javon Holland, Paulson Adebo, who's an absolute ball hawk, or at least I thought he was. These 2 come in. They're at the bottom of the league at their respective positions, according to PFF. Both players so far this year are at the bottom of the league. Do you know why? Because their defensive coordinator, the Giants' defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen, doesn't know how to use them effectively. And guess what? When you don't know how to use your secondary effectively, when you're not putting in the right personnel, I mean, if I have to see Deonte Banks again, I'm going to throw my freaking laptop across the room. Cordell Flott's got to be in there. He's better. But they're forcing Deonte Banks. Now, I like Banks as a kick returner. I really do. The kid flies. But as a number 1 or 2 corner, no, absolutely not. I don't. I don't think he's a good fit anymore. I think the Deonte Banks experiment is over, unfortunately. It's over. But he was Joe Schoen's first round pick, so he's kind of married to him, I guess. But what does it say about the organization when you have players that basically as soon as they leave the organization, they go out and they find success? Daniel Jones, what the heck is this about? I mean, is he going to get MVP votes? I mean, I'm not even kidding. He's having a tremendous season with the Colts. A tremendous year. We couldn't get that out of him? Now, his injuries. He had a slew of injuries with the Giants. I know. So that really was the big issue with him. But at the same time, how in the world can he look like that and you could not tap into it? At that point, that's on the coaching. That's on Daboll. That's on Kafka. That's on the coaching. So when you have players who were in your organization, then as soon as they leave, they find success elsewhere. Shepard's playing pretty good football. I mean, I thought when he left the team, he was going to retire. He stayed in the NFL, stayed in the league. He hasn't been bad. I would like to have him at this moment. I would love to have him. And guess what? Neighbors goes down. They don't get a replacement. And I'm not even saying you can even replace Malik Neighbors, but they didn't even attempt to even add depth at the position. And Darius Slayton had a terrible week. You invested a bunch of money into him. He had a terrible week. A terrible game against the Saints. Bo Collins can't even finish a freaking route. Jalen Hyatt looks horrible. Just horrible. Wan'Dale Robinson I like. But he didn't have a great game either. Isaiah Hodgins, he's on a practice squad somewhere. Leave a comment down below if you know. he would be a better option than Hyatt and Bo Collins. At least he would run his route completely. He would attempt to. That interception might not happen. It might just be a drop ball, or maybe he has to bat that ball away from getting intercepted. But that interception may not happen if Bo Collins runs his route. Isaiah Hodgins would have. Isaiah Hodgins could look better than whatever the heck Jalen Hyatt's doing. But they didn't think they had to address the wide receiver position. Bellinger had a decent week. Theo Johnson had a really good week. The chemistry between Johnson and Dart is amazing. It's great to see. But you need to give Dart more help. You need to give him more help. He doesn't have your number one receiver. And listen, that's fine. That's okay. But those plays that Darius Slayton failed to make, Malik makes those. He makes those. And that sucks. There's nothing we could do about it. But guess what you could have done? You could have at least gotten a wide receiver that's better than what you have in Bo Collins and Jalen Hyatt. And you didn't do it. You could have at least improved that. Improved your third option. And you didn't do it. You thought, hey, we'll roll it with what we got. Pathetic. I'd rather have Odell than Hyatt. I'd rather have Odell than Bo Collins. I'm sorry. But I think Odell runs his freaking route. Because he wants to play. He just wants to play. And no one wants the guy. I get it. He's over the hill. But he'd show more heart than Bo Collins did. I'm sorry. That pissed me off when he didn't run his route and it led to an interception. That really upset me. It really upset me. These personnel decisions made by the New York Giants, it falls on Joe Schoen. It falls on him. Pathetic. It's pathetic. Now we have to go in there. We should have beat the Saints. Now we have to go in there and play the Eagles on Thursday. Saquon Barkley's hurt, but he's going to play Thursday just because. Watch them take advantage of the Giants. They most definitely will. I pray to God that the Giants fight and that we have a chance. But they need to go out and get another receiver. Just like I'm not saying a number one. I'm just saying somebody better than Hyatt and Collins. Just please at least do that. I don't think that's a crazy ask. At least I don't think so. Did the Giants do themselves any favors? No. 5 turnovers, 3 of those being fumbles, 2 interceptions by Dart. Did they do themselves any favors? No. But they didn't force any turnovers. They didn't sack Rattler. So that's an issue in and of itself. That's our secondary's terrible. Rattler, he said it before the game. A few days prior to the game. It had all Giants fans pissed off, including myself, but he was right. And I just think that comes down to a scheme fit. That's all. We need a different defensive coordinator. We just need we need the front office and this coaching staff overhauled. Who do you get? I don't know. That's somebody else's job, not mine. But what I do know is the current regime has been awful. Awful.